So now I would like to ask Stoychev to hold his presentation about the movement patterns of immature imperial eagles from Bulgaria.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, дорогие друзья, let me first thank to the organizers that work hard to bring us here. And also let me thank you, all of you that travel such a distances, crossing timelines to be here. I enjoyed very much the discussions, official and unofficial, during the coffee breaks, and I'm learning a lot. I'm going to present our work on Eastern Imperial Eagle in Bulgaria, our tracking program. Our research was part of a long-term conservation effort to protect the species in Bulgaria. So the main goals were the following: to identify dispersal and migration. When we start 15 years ago, almost nothing was known about where our young eagles spend the winters, how they move, what are the mortalities. We at that time wanted to know where they winter, to see if there are some key temporary settlement areas, and of course to justify conservation efforts. We started with microwave transmitters, GPS Argus. In the first period, we took 23 eagles with 70-gram Argus transmitters. Then we continue with Ornitella. In the last 2 years, between 2001 and 2002, we took 7 more eagles with Ornitella transmitters. Here you can see the movement of the eagles during their first autumn. We put all the data from 1st of September until 30th of October, despite of the years they were collected, to see what the eagles are doing during their first autumn. You see, they move to the south. So in the first autumn, almost most of the eagles move south-southeast. And then we put the data from 1st of December until 28th of February in order to demonstrate where they stay during their first winter. So you see that the main areas are in Turkey, Middle East. 3 birds went to Africa. However, still 3 birds remain in the southeastern part of the Balkan Peninsula, not so far from the NATO areas. Quite a large area of wintering from the Balkans to Africa. Then we wanted to see what they're doing during their first spring. So from March to May, they start moving back south. They came closer to their NATO areas, and also they did some exploratory flights going to the north, to Central Europe. Even one bird reached as far as to Russia. And then during their first summer, from June to August, they returned back more or less close to the NATO areas in the Balkans, staying in southeastern Balkans, most of them. Here we are presenting what they're doing during their second autumn. They start moving south, but you see that moving south direction in the second autumn is not so obvious comparing to the first autumn. More of them stay in the Balkans, close to NATO areas. However, some move south. There was one bird that wintered in Syria at that time. In the first and second winter, that bird was in Syria. And here is the picture from the second winter, from 1st of December until February. In the second winter, you see most of the birds are already on the Balkans. They don't go so south to Africa, but still there are birds in Turkey and one in Syria. What's happening in their second spring? Again, going back to Bulgaria. However, due to mortality, the number of the birds decrease, so we follow much less birds, but the pattern is more or less obvious. And now the second summer, much less birds remain, but more or less they concentrate in southeastern Balkans in the NATO areas. And then in the third autumn, those birds that survive, almost no migration, they stay in the Balkans. And then the third winter, all of them are close to their NATO areas. Actually, at that time, they're already looking for territories to occupy. And now I'm going to tell you a story that is like from a Hollywood movie. There is travel, mystery, crime, and unexpected end. This is the story of Kali, an eagle we took in 2022 in Bulgaria, close to the border with Turkey. Kali did the usual migration in the autumn and reached Egypt. Then in October, the coordinates we get were quite strange. It was obvious that the bird is on the ground, probably dead, not moving much. And we start thinking to find someone in Egypt to go and to check the bird. But suddenly the data disappear. We stop receiving any coordinates. So we assume that maybe someone went and collected the bird. But after several days, we receive a message and this picture from colleagues from Israel working in their nature protection service. One of the rangers walking his daily routine route saw one eagle hanging from the tree this way. They were able to climb the tree and to find that this eagle has a ring, our Bulgarian ring. It was Kali. See how it was? It's an eucalyptus tree. Kali was roosting on that tree and get tangled into the tree with a rope. Sorry. And then this is Kali with our Bulgarian rings, and this is the ranger. They were able to get it back, and we were able somehow to recover the story. Most probably the bird was catched by trappers that catch raptors. They removed the transmitter, so we didn't receive any more data from the transmitters, and they put a rope on the eagle, but eagle most probably somehow escaped. Then unfortunately, or fortunately, the rope tangled into the tree and the rangers found it. But when we already were thinking about happy end of the story, it was not happy story because the eagle died due to the injuries from that rope. So this is the story of Kali. You see exactly like a movie story. And then more summarized information about the threats. It's not only persecution. We found out that main threats are electrocution, shooting, poisoning, and first and most important is electrocution. It was really important to find out this because at that time we didn't have any proof. We didn't find any electrocuted imperial eagles in Bulgaria before the transmitters. With the transmitters, we were able to prove that this is the main threat. And also to find out that they're dying not only in Bulgaria, but abroad, and the key country is Turkey. Significant part of mortality events happen in Turkey. So we were able to tune our conservation program, and we realized that we have to work intensively in Turkey for preventing threats. Electrocution is the main threat. And we made the most of the data we get. We convinced grid operators to start large insulation projects. Currently, all the 3 middle tension grid operators in Bulgaria have projects to prevent electrocution. Large numbers of pylons were made safe for birds. And now we're discussing, and a project in Turkey hopefully will be prepared where large-scale installation will start also. The population is doing relatively well. You saw already this graph, our population is increasing, although the total number is still small, but we manage almost to triple the population. And finally, let me thank to those that help. We receive a lot of information and help for our tracking program. In the beginning, we did not know how to put the transmitters. So a colleague from Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, from MME BirdLife, from Greece, Mayburg, many people help us. So now we have a very skillful team that could tag and track birds. And actually now we are helping other countries to track their birds. Thank you.
Thank you, Stoychev. We have time for questions.
Yeah, thank you. Hello. Thank you, Stoychev, for the presentation. And I'm wondering, what is the time between the last transmitting till you the ranger from Israel found it? How many days?
It was very short time. I can't remember exactly. Let's say 5-7 days.
Oh, okay.
Very short time.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this presentation. I will make a short presentation of myself and my intentions regarding this species. My name is Nicolae Pârlog. I'm an ornithologist from Romania, and I'm working to develop a national plan of reintroduction of this bird, this particular species of eagle in Romania. So this is why I need all the help of, and of course, the experience and the good willing of all of the parts involved here, because this was a native bird, very frequently breeder, very frequently nesting in Romania. For example, at the beginning of the 20th centuries, there were only in the small part of the southern part of Romania, more specifically Baragan Plains, where almost 45 pairs with nests and with eaglets. But today, unfortunately, due to deforestation and modern agriculture, bird is almost extinct as a breeder in southeast part of Romania. I have noticed only probably 2 pairs in the northern part of Dobruja and the how can I say, the Baragan Plains. So this is why I wrote an let's say a project in Romania. I will translate it in English too. So this is why I need your help. Probably we will keep in touch after this conference regarding the Eastern Imperial Eagle, because I want to develop, I want to reintroduce this bird as a native bird in Romania, especially because Romania is somewhere halfway between the largest population, I mean the Hungarian population and the Bulgarian too. So could be, let's say, let's make the whole part of Eastern Europe protected, and this bird must be reintroduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. We will be in touch. Sorry, one technical question. Okay, so it seems that Igor will have his presentation after lunch. So now there is a place for Rinur who has his presentation. Sorry, is there any more questions to Stoychev? I would have only one brief question. So am I right that there was no bird which survived till the territorial movements or breeding?
Unfortunately, no proven case. However, some of the birds lose their transmitters. We were able to find the transmitters. We tag the birds in a way that the transmitter fall down after some years. So obviously some birds survive, but those that were tracked didn't survive, unfortunately.
Thanks. So no more questions. Thank you, Stoychev.
Thank you.